Yeah!
Hola gang, and welcome again to Old Nerd Reviews. I'm Tony, I'm your old nerd of the day, and I try things so you don't have to. Lately, some of you have been asking for a new Old Nerd Kitchen video. Well, those things take quite a lot of time and effort to produce. And I have a couple things in the works, but I don't have anything right now. So, in typical marketing fashion, I'm repurposing a video from another channel of mine. So, this is going to be considered your Old Nerd Kitchen right now. It's a dish that I call crispy ramen noodles. Very simple concept, but it's a way of taking ramen noodles and turning it on its head. My daughter-in-law made this for me for the very first time a few years back, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So here you go. I'm going to show you a cheap lunch, something that I really enjoy. It's using top ramen or ramen noodles or something along those lines. I don't enjoy regular top ramen, but I enjoy it done in a crispy noodle type of way. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Originally, my daughter-in-law showed me how to make it. Well, I didn't make it. It's cheap, it's easy, it's fast, and here we go. Okay, so you put in some water in a regular pan. How much water do you put in?
You just put it in enough so it's about 2 inches from the top of the pan.
Okay.
It's just so that the noodles can cook and float in there.
Okay, and then you just cook it like you would regular top ramen.
But you don't put the season packet in there. All you do is you put the noodles as a whole. Don't break them up or anything. As a whole, put them in the water. And all you're trying to do is soften the noodles. So you put it on high, and then you just kind of float the noodles in there, because what you're trying to do is soften them. So just wait till it boils, and they'll start to soften up. In the meantime, while that's doing that, we take a tablespoon or a little less of butter or margarine. We happen to have margarine, and put it in the fry pan just so that it's ready. We'll be melting this butter after the noodles get done. Okay, we're softening the noodles in the water that we have on high, and you can tell they're soft when they all break apart. These aren't quite there yet because see how they're still clumped right there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you just don't wait the normal time as usual top ramen. You just kind of feel it out.
You just let them soften, and the way you know they're softened is see how they're all separated. Mm-hmm. They're not in a big clump or anything like that. So that's just about ready to drain.
So it looks like just about the time it's ready to boil, they should be done.
Okay.
6 and 7.
We're going to turn this down between 6 and 7. Take our noodles off and slide our frying pan over. We're going to drain our noodles.
In a strainer. Or through your old grandma's underwear.
And now we're just taking that tablespoon or so of butter, and you're just going to melt it in the pan until you start to see little bubbles. It's kind of important from what my daughter-in-law told me. So you're just melting the butter until you start to see little bubbles. See the little bubbles? They're starting to happen.
I see the little bubbles.
You don't want it to go much longer than this, because then it will go dry, and then your noodles will be too dry. You can do this with 2 packages at a time. That's what my daughter-in-law does, or 1 package, depending on how hungry you are.
And if you do it with 2 packages, what does she do? 1.5 tablespoons of butter?
Yeah, she does 1.5 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
So then you just put your noodles in there, get them all spread out so that they're in that bubbling butter. Remember, this is on 6 or 7. And then you're going to open your sauce packet. My husband chose beef.
Yeah. I like the beef better than the chicken. I mean, you can have any kind, I would imagine, but I've tried beef and chicken. Beef is my favorite. I'm a salt fanatic. I love things salty, and beef seems to be a little bit saltier than the chicken.
And you just sprinkle the packet over the noodles. And yes, to like this, you have to like salt, because it is very salty.
But that's okay. The more salty, the more buttery, the more cholesterol, the more ways that stuff can kill you, the better.
Right now I'm mixing the sauce, so it's getting all over the noodles. And then I'll even them back out again, flatten them back out, so that they're all kind of cooking about the same.
So now you're just letting them fry up and crisp up.
Yep. See how you have to keep them moving, because see, if you don't, then they'll start to stick. And then they'll be too done. These aren't done yet because I'm feeling the noodles, and they have to feel kind of dry instead of soft and wet. They have to feel a little bit dry.
So what exactly are you looking for? Texture, or do you have does it take a certain amount of time?
You're looking for texture.
Okay. How long does it usually take?
Less than 5 minutes.
So actually, when it gets to this point, it's kind of like personal preference, because you can either have them really, really crunchy, or you can have them a little bit wet, but it's pretty much personal preference, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. My daughter-in-law says that if there's too much butter, that's why you don't want more than a tablespoon, then they're too soft. But if there is not enough butter, then they'll stick. So you'll be able to gauge it and tell if your noodles are sticking all the time that you make them, then you know that you haven't put enough butter.
Alrighty, and there's our finished product, crispy noodle top ramen. And like I said, it's easy, it's cheap, and it's good. There it is. I hope you enjoyed it, and make it for yourself. I think you're gonna really enjoy this. And if you do, or even if you don't, leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. If you liked it, share it with all your friends. Then join me over at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Old Nerd Reviews, and become a part of the Old Nerd Crony Community. You can find me over at the website also at oldnerdreviews.com. You guys have a freaking awesome day, and I'll see you next video. Bye now.